Yes, everybody, you know what time it is. It's your boy Jack and Dave here. Post Burnley destruction, 5-2 win. Who doesn't love a 5-2 win? And who doesn't love a Twitter reacts after a 5-2 win? I love enjoying going on to the Twitter straight away. Sort of sat out on my fire escape, in Brooklyn and, got a little bit of a tan, just, Spurs, kit out, for everybody to see, for all the neighbors. Was also wearing, my Spurs PJs as well. It shows, how much of a day it's been that it's actually 2 o'clock in the afternoon, still wearing the Spurs PJs at this stage. But, feeling good, looking good. That's where we want to be with Tottenham Hotspur. But Dave, how you keeping, my friend? And, I like Twitter reacts, especially after a win, don't you?
Oh, Jack, I'm keeping absolutely superbly. I'm just after catching my breath back as I went into the bedroom and practiced my run bombing. I had great fun doing that, Jacko. But look, I love Twitter reacts. It's especially when you win. It's where you get to see the best of the Spurs fans. So let's get into it, my man.
Let's get into it for sure. If you could do us a favor, though, please, everybody, if you do enjoy these Twitter reacts, and if you do enjoy seeing, the rest of the Spurs fan base sort of respond, to the big wins or to the defeats, whatever which way it does come, feel free to smash that like button for us. Also, if you do want to see your tweets get involved, feel free to tag us in anything that maybe you feel like you want to see brought up, on some of these. I'm at or for my Twitter, it's at Jack_Kanicki. For Dave, it's at the Irish Y. It's also in the description down below. So please feel free to follow us and get involved in these shows. But let's go to one of our capitans. Dave, we're going straight over to Christian Romero. He says, great game from everyone today. I think we will continue to, or we will try to continue to improve and work. But this is but this is the right path, or this is the right road together forever, Dave. Everyone
Uh,
together forever. I mean, we're always together, I
He's
think is what
loving
he's
it,
saying at
Jack.
the end. He's feeling
He's
good.
at Yeah, it's brilliant to see, Jack. And these are the vibes that we've wanted to see for quite some time, right? Players at Tottenham Hotspur enjoying themselves and enjoying the football. And once you do that, you form that camaraderie, that brotherhood. And then once you have that, you've got all the complete weapons to be able to go and make an assault on the league. So, absolutely love that from the Rombom.
Yeah, and he's looking good. He's throwing a big heart to the Spurs fans as well because he does love this football club, while maybe others might deny that. Mickey Hazard, always good to see Mickey Hazard. He's saying, Romero, what a goal, but I hate VAR. I can't celebrate a goal anymore. It's so wrong. What a
Yeah.
farce. He actually put a few tweets about VAR today, Mickey Hazard. So clearly he was really not happy about that moment. Dave, I mean, you agree with Mickey? It's not fun anymore, celebrating these goals. I must be honest because you know this. I'm a bit of an S house, and I kind of enjoy the extra celebration. When I see the lines, you get that extra celebration and really stick to
Yeah.
the team. When they really think it's going to go the other way. So I actually enjoy that part. But I don't know. Do you agree with Mickey though? It does ruin it a little bit.
Look, it does, it sort of kills the passion in the moment feel, then, as soon as the VAR check comes in, it brings you right back down. It sort of kills it for me. I agree with Mickey. Look, everyone knows I've got my problem with VAR.
Yeah. And then Simon Yemaine says, this commitment to the badge means everything to
Oh, yeah.
me. I mean, Vicario, Romero, I mean, there are probably so many strikers and so many forwards that will, miss a chance. And then you'll see like two or three guys celebrating right in their face, right afterwards as well. I mean, it just doesn't make you feel good. That's for sure. Big up to
Yeah.
Simon. And I imagine there'll be a few more tweets of his that will pop up. The Spurs Express, they're retweeting or re-showing Rodrigo Bentoncourt on Instagram was saying Cudi Romero mucho toro. He said, and I think toro is like a bull or something like that, or I could be wrong, but I think he's just saying what a beast basically from Romero, and it's nice to see that Bentoncourt's just watching the game like almost everybody else is. Dave, he's he's on his couch just watching it on his laptop.
He must be chomping at the bit to get back fit and play in this team, Jack. He must
Oh,
be.
must be, yeah, he must be salivating to get back into this
Mm.
team. Dan El Capitan 82, I love this. He says, for me, the most impressive thing about Ange is he's come in and immediately disbanded the previous leadership group and realized that they were part of the problem. Subsequent behavior proving him 100% correct. naming Phillips on the bench over Dyer, I can also get behind. I think we can all get behind that, Dan. But I do feel like that's part of Ange's masterclass. It's not only the players that he picked for that leadership group, but the fact that he really has pushed out a lot of those previous ones, from the scene, from everything that's been going on, and I think he's done
Mm,
a very good thing in that for me, Dan. I think it's a bit of a masterstroke on his behalf, not
mm,
only bringing in Romero, Sonny, and Maddison as new captains, as new leaders that were not captains or leaders before, but also pushing out that old leadership group in the
mm,
way that he did. I think it's a masterstroke.
mm. Yeah, look, Madison, Romero, Son all scored today, so that's that choice already being paid off and rewarded. But Jack, that's something we spoke about the leadership under previous managements. We said it wasn't right. The fact that so many managers are coming and going, it stinks of toxic leadership within the dressing room. And yeah, we were right.
Jamie O'Hara, has anyone seen Jason Cundy? Has anyone seen Drogba? Has anyone seen Stamford Bridge? Has anyone seen Lampard? Has anyone seen Cahill? Oh, I wish I could be there, in the UK during these times under Ange Ball, because I would be phoning
Mhm.
in Talk Sport every single day trying to get on that show just to give Jason Cundy an earful, because I do enjoy that segment of his, but I mean, he's just the way he did it against us after Fulham, he's just so desperate. And now he's gotten a taste of his own medicine here. And I must be honest, as happy as I am to see Jamie O'Hara do this, I feel like he could have done this sooner. Maybe he's done this before, but Dave, I was on this straight away, as the moment, last season that Chelsea started dropping in the league. And I feel like this needed to be done sooner, but I can't complain. I'm happy to see it happening.
No, it's absolutely great. Shithousery from Jamie O'Hara, top notch. And, it's going to be a fun watch with the boys, Jacko.
And talk THFC, Emerson Royale. This is he's a modest one for that, actually, Sonny, for doing that. But it's good to see him and Emo getting along there for sure. Always good to see that. And Emo showing some love on Instagram to our boy Sonny. Statman Dave, Hungman's son, has now scored 105 Premier League goals. He has now overtaken
Wow.
Didier Drogba. And there's actually another player that I believe he overtook as well. I think it was the one and only Ronaldo, Dave. Cristiano Ronaldo is actually overtaken in total Premier League goals. He's now, I believe, inside the top 30 of all time Premier League goal scorers. And I mean, to have one player inside the top 30, of all time Premier League goal
Mhm.
scorers, to have also, our previous Harry Kane, very high up there too, does show how, in a way, we were lucky and we are
Yeah.
lucky to have, two of
Yeah.
what has been some of the best Premier League
Mhm.
players, in the last decade.
Mhm.
Two of the best Premier League players of the last decade, I think. And Sonny, with today's performance, is getting some due love that maybe has been a bit
Yeah.
overdue in some stage. The Spurs web here, Dave. Cootie Romero just showing a bit of love to the Spurs fans. I mean, I don't know. I'll let you go off on this one, Dave, because I've gone off on it before. But I mean, I just feel like he's putting a lot of the haters and a lot of the doubters in the mud. I mean, he loves this club. He
Mhm.
said that he wants to play his best years of his career at this club, and he wants to win a trophy with us. He's I mean, he's just performing at his best, almost even better than he did when he first came to the team. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just good to see Romero, kind of just back to you and I. You and I have always backed him, but back to
Mhm.
where we know he can be.
Yeah, 100%, Jack. Look, for me, it was never in doubt. I always spoke about the value of partnerships in football, and how important they are. And ever since Mickey Van der Ven's come in, you can clearly see how good Romero is. And the reason why is because he's not guessing the numpty beside him that was Dyer last year. And once you don't when you don't have that partnership, it makes your job harder. With Romero and Van der Ven, they understand each other's games, they read each other's games, they trust each other on the ball. So it just makes for a very good partnership.
Yeah.
And for me, when it comes to Cutie Romero and people maybe sort of question him on over the summer, I never understood it. He was simply our best defender in possession and out of possession. And you know what, Jack? This is what I like most about some of these signings that we've made over the last few years is the mentality. They don't go
Yeah,
out to the press and cry and try and defend themselves at all costs. They stand up and they let the
their head
performances
down.
on the pitch do the talking. And that's exactly what Romero's done. Even back as far as last year, there was talks and questions around his commitment to Tottenham Hotspur as well. He came out in the summer, said, I had options to leave. I don't want to leave this club. I love this club. And then since then, he's gone on to score 2 goals. He's got the
Yeah, spot on, Dave.
assistant captain's armbands, and he's put in great performances every single game he's played so far. He's a real leader.
Wow, well said there, Dave. Simon Yeman, Romero, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Brian Hill Messi, Emerson, Papa Montasar, Udoji, Basuma, Poro, all signed within 18 months, all with beneficial payment structures or prices, all under 25 now, or when signed. Paratici's legend status grows with each day. We said he was cooking, and it's almost like his legacy is cooking, a slow boil of a legacy. And more people are joining the Paratici train, the love train. And, as sort of founding fathers, I think, of the propaganda team and part of the PR team at Paratici,
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier and I couldn't be prouder. It's one of those things where, Dave, I used to say, last chance, last chance on the love train for whatever player, right? Last chance on the appreciation train. I sort of maybe I'm going to go back on it with Paratici. I just feel like the more converters there are, the better. If they're latecomers, they're latecomers. No need to shame anybody or anything like that. Just once they learn the ways of the Don, they learn the ways of the Don, and I'm okay with that. It comes to some people slower than others, but eventually they will accept the Don's brilliance.
Well, look, Jack, if you're calling me Mystic Dave then because we predicted this was going to happen. I told people once you start seeing the old guard come out of the team with a lot of the new signings and you see them all bedded in, you take the old guard out of the team, you will watch saucy football. So I guess that makes me Mystic Dave then, Jack.
The psychic. Barty says, VAR checked so many actions in that to try and stop the goal. I thought they were going to have a look at whether we paid our road tax
Yeah.
on the team coach to Burnley. It's
Yeah.
something we got used to last season. So true, buddy.
Honestly, it's getting beyond the joke, Jack. I remember we were speaking about the West Ham one there last year under Antonio Conte. It took like 25 minutes for them to find a reason why they couldn't give it. It's almost, I felt like the tip the Deliveroo lad, and the first excuse he gave them, they just, oh yeah, that's it, no penalty. It's a joke. I'm sick of it.
Billy here, big up to Billy. He says, in the midst of it so over, I found there was within me an invincible we're so back. Oh yes, always. It's the two states of being that we constantly go between, Billy. Digital Spurs says you can keep your Pochettino.
I thought it was
Conte
Pochettino, Jack. No,
Mourinho.
I thought it was Pochettino, no?
I guess it is, Dave. Yeah, I guess it is. Oh, love it. He couldn't even fit into a pair of chinos right now, I must say. Jamie Ware says the difference I felt last November, knowing it was another 5 weeks until I had to endure Tottenham, and today knowing it's another 2 weeks until I get to enjoy Tottenham, is absolutely stark. Yeah, I completely agree. Everybody wants to see Spurs playing as much as possible. But, I mean, I don't know. Quick opinion here, Dave. I actually feel like even though we as fans want to see Spurs play as soon as possible once again, I just don't think it's it's not the worst thing in the world to have an international break at this time. It was a hectic week, chaotic week. Some signings that we wanted to happen didn't happen. It's almost like taking a break right now in this really high moment is actually weirdly a good thing for the squad. Maybe it's not as much the fans, but I think for the squad it's actually a good thing.
Yeah, no, look, sometimes when you're playing this well, you do just want the next game to come round
Yeah.
so you can sort of continue that momentum. However, I actually think the opposite, Jack. For me as a fan, I think it's good to have a wee little break because the excitements of the football, then the downs of the transfer window. It's too much, emotions. There's no
True.
in between. So for me, I think it's nice. It's good for my heart anyway to have a week or so off, Jack, and then get back into the rhythm of winning football games. Come on.
That too, absolutely well said. LJ 1882, a special mention to Paratici. He deserves credit and recognition for building an excellent starting 11. All the players who started today, bar Sonny, were Paratici's buys. He needs to be he needs to be now allowed to build the squad depth. I mean, I'll be disappointed if we end up bringing in a different director of football. I just think it'll be hard to do better than Paratici, considering how far we were in the trenches when he inherited this team as well. And now within 18 months, not even 2 years, within 18 months, to have the team look the way it does in the time that he's been here, it's what Dave and I have said. He's been working with a plastic spoon and a plastic spatula, and he's still cooking. I mean, he just does what, I mean, that's what sort of makes him actually brilliant for Levy, in that he seems to actually almost enjoy the challenge of working for Tottenham Hotspur. He enjoys how much he gets handcuffed. He enjoys how much, he gets, put just, I think Paratici is, slowly going to get more respect over time. And it's beautiful to see that. Big up LJ 1882. Cody Mack. Romero's goal makes me think it must really effing hurt when he puts his boot through as an opposition player. Prefers the goal though. I mean, Dave, some of the one of those tackles that you pointed out today was a real cruncher.
Yeah, it was that one on Kashahoro or whatever you want to call the guy. He absolutely crunched him. And Jack, I told you the second time, he went running at him 2 minutes later, and I said to you, watch, he will pass this ball. He doesn't want it. What did he do? He passed it out left when it was easier to run at Romero and try and take him on. And that's what I talk about when it comes to Romero's challenge. It makes people think twice. And he absolutely
just sent him, to the depths.
I don't know why I get so much enjoyment out of it, Jack, but it just fills me with such pride and joy when I see it. I'm like
That's
a
why I
proud
love
father.
defending. That's why I love defending. I love a crunching challenge. Prop Spur, big up to you, my friend. He says, I hate to say this, but Kulusevski needs to learn how to draw a foul like Kane. He's so strong on the ball, but he doesn't get calls that other regular wingers do. He's very different from other wingers in that he has the strength, and he actually bullies most fullbacks with that strength. He sort of uses it to his advantage a lot of times, and he's not a bad guy to hit the ball into because you really can't bully him that much. But I actually agree with this take. I think Kulusevski, for whatever reason, doesn't go down as easily as he could, or kind of exaggerate, some of the fouls that are real fouls that are being made on him. And I actually agree with this take. Harry Kane was, despite being a big guy and a strong guy himself, was quite good, at certain moments, just going, that was I'm a big guy, but that was a strong enough challenge, that someone else would go down, and he would know when to go down, and he would know when not to go down. And I think, yeah, that's a strong take there, actually,
Um,
Dave. Just Harry Kane expert, do you agree?
well, look, Jack, I did say that Kulusevski could sort of, his game is very similar to Harry Kane's in ways. I've said that before, so it's good to see another one of Mystic Dave's, conversations coming to the fore again. It's fantastic. But look, Jack, with Kulusevski on this, right, it's about doing it cleverly. And what I mean by that, right, what you don't want him to do is every time he feels contact in an area of the pitch, just fall down, because then you take away from the game that Kulu does. You look at Kulu, he's an old school ringer. He rides a lot of challenges. He takes a lot of contact. Now, we mentioned it in the watch along, Jack. There was one instance in the penalty area where he put the ball by the man, he put in a challenge, and obviously Kulu was going nowhere. That's when he needs to go down. That the right moments when he realizes, okay, it's sort of coming to a dead end. I'm still taking contact, and then go down. But the other times when he's beating his man, he's always going to take that contact because of the strength of him. But then if he starts going down, you lose what you get from Kulu, which is when he beats his man. He gets on the inside of him, gets down the byline. If he starts diving too early, you take that away from him, you lose that. So it's about doing it when he's in the box and it's sort of coming to a dead end, or just being clever in a dangerous area. If it's in the penalty box, go down. If the goal scoring opportunity isn't there, on the edge of the box. If there's no passes or anything like that, go down. It's just about being more clever with it. But what we don't want is them to just, every time he feels contact, throw himself to the ground, because I will berate him.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
Tottenham Hotspur showing just more passionate picks from our boy Romero, our Capitan. Just love to see. Just absolutely is a passionate man. Loves the club. Just loves scoring. Just loves winning. You can tell. Simon Humain, you hear that? That's the sound of 1,000 fans deleting their "son is finished" posts from 6 months ago. It's you can hear it in the background for sure, Simon. You can hear it in the background. That's a great tweet. Footballista says the campaign for the Ange mural starts here. All right, enjoy. Dave, I was look at the top right there if you can see that for the quote. Amazing. That's amazing.
I love it. I love it. That's a work of art, that.
Terry Flewers, big up Terry, he says Tottenham have been absolutely brilliant. What a performance and great to start to the season for them. Big Ange is making a lot of us, including me, look very stupid. Big on you, Terry, actually, for some sort of accountability and doubting our Ange. But I mean, I'll be honest. I think a lot of people. I remember when he was first hired, there were a lot of tweets out there that I do recall about sort of doubting his reputation, whether he can implement what he's done at other leagues, into the Premier League, and not seeing a whole lot of that right now, that's for sure. But big up on Terry for at least admitting to it. Talk Sports says, was James Maddison the best signing of the summer? I might include this one in the thumbnail, Dave. What do you think?
Look, as far as our best signing of the summer, I think it's hard to distinguish between the best because each one of them had something what we lacked last season. But look, if you're looking at terms of impact from summer signing so far, yes, he is. But he's a long way to go. It's over the course of a season you have to produce it.
Very good point.
Can't get carried away after 3-4 games. But what I will say and credit, this is huge coming from me, Jack. He's a lot better than what I actually originally thought he was. I knew he was a good player and he was effective, but he's a hell of a lot better than what I thought he was in terms of the way he sees football, his footballing brain, like that artistry, 1-2 with Basuma onto Pedro Porro for Son's, I think it was Son's hat trick, that goal he scored, in the first half he done a 1-2 and popped off a shot as well. He just doesn't give away the ball, Jack.
He's a baller.
And what I love most about it is he does the risky things in terms of in
Also
possession,
that.
right? He plays balls over top, takes people on, shoots, plays balls in behind. But they're all perfect. He just doesn't give away the ball.
Also, it's so spot on, Dave. All of that, and I agree with your original point though. After showed the praise towards the end there, I do agree with your original point though. It's very early in the season, but we also have to look at some of the other signings that might not be as glamorous as this one, but how important those ones are too. Vicario, Van de Ven, Udoji, those sort of signings too, right? Also help the whole team function and bring the best out of our boy Maddison. Dave, I thought you liked this one. Simon Humain saying Sarr spending too much time with Romero. He was punching the sides and punching the gut of James Maddison there. Yeah, I think everybody's, getting too much Romero influence.
Jack, I can only imagine what it's like around the training ground. I'd say you wouldn't want to. Do you know what it is, Jack, right? You wouldn't want to be someone like a Dyer or a weak mentality because the boys would just be coming up doing that every 2 seconds.
Nuggies. Yeah, every single minute,
But you know what, though, Jack? That's the environment we want to see, right? We want to see them having fun, being aggressive, being the very best they can be. Not none of this, storming down the tunnel with the head down after another performance. We want to see them out there. What we're seeing is a team full of men, out there doing the job. Not what like Dyer or Lloris were, where they were just. Well, not so much Lloris, but like the likes of Dyer and that, where they're just weak, Jack, and
Spot on.
for me, at elite level sport, especially in a game where it's full contact, you have to be aggressive. You have to, and I'm glad to see that back in this Tottenham side. We talked about Romero's tackle earlier on. For 4 years, we've seen teams just run at us, no challenges made, and the ball ends up in the back of our net. Now you're seeing people getting out there, getting in, getting stuck in, putting their body on the line, being aggressive. And it's great to see that back in this Tottenham side because for the last 3 years, we have been an absolute soft touch. And I don't like saying that. That kills me to say that. But we were a soft touch.
Yeah. Spot on there, Dave. Spot on. Mickey Hazard says, our fans singing, we've got our Tottenham back. I'm saying thank God for that. This is what we love. Attacking, free-flowing, front football. Love it. Come on, you Spurs. Let's love Mickey's Twitter these days. He's just a happy man. Cody Mack, I would say, dare I say he's happy clapping right now, Mickey Hazard. Cody Mack, he says Spurs Twitter last night versus today. And this is also my favorite thing about being a Spurs fan is just going back and forth between these two states of being. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I just love going back and forth between these two states of being as a Spurs fan. Paulo Keefe says, Ange once said, this is about the unwavering attacking philosophy. If you are a strict vegetarian, you don't drop into McDonald's just because you're hungry, mate. This is what I believe in. And that's right. You know, there are things in life that we're sort of stubborn on, that we're strict about. I'm actually, you know, is probably because of my granola sort of, you know, very cringe hipster roots, Dave. You know, I'm a very avid recycler. I'm actually very annoying about it with people and things like that. And I'm probably a bit of a, you know, just annoying, you know, with people sometimes. It's just things that you believe in, things that you sort of stand for.
Yeah,
You just end up, you know, just, you know, just being stubborn about it. And
yeah.
that's what's good about Ange. And that's what I think made him probably the ideal candidate for this managerial role. Is we just needed somebody that was going to stick to their attacking philosophy no matter what. Tottenham Hotspur, our captains, our goal scorer. It's just beautiful to see that trio. What a trio of world class players, in my opinion, right there. And they're going to be the future for sure. Billy says one day there will be an investigation into how the F we managed to sign Maddison for 45 million pounds this summer. Not as much of a Parachichi sort of deal negotiation. That one's actually more on Daniel Levy, funny enough, of all people. You know, somehow he really took it to Leicester. He
Yeah.
paid 60 million to Everton for reasons we still question to this day. But when it came to the James Maddison signing, you could say he sort of made up for it. United Spurs America said they told us so many things about this man. Talk to me nicely now. Big Sonny, the big 3 goals, hat trick. What a beautiful smile. And that's what we want to see. It's just a happy, smiling Sonny. Once again, there it is, everybody. Another Twitter Reacts. Dave, any kind of final words for the people? Final departing words this weekend, you know, to go into next week, to go into international break.
Do you know what, Jack? You've heard me moan, and everyone else out there has heard me moan so many times about I just want to sit there, I want to get cocky and arrogant and flex with my support for Tottenham. Well, that's what we're seeing out on social media from Tottenham fans now, and I absolutely love it. I want to see more of it. Keep up the great work, Spurs fans.
All right, everybody. Please, again, if you do want to get involved in these Twitter Reacts, tag us in anything, you know, after the game, or, you know, feel free to just send us messages. So you do want to see your tweets up there, but really have been enjoying these. Seems like you guys do enjoy these as well. Let's ride into this international break with good vibes. Come on, you Spurs. In the big Ange we trust, and we will be seeing you. See you, everybody.
We never stop.